In this video, I'm going to compare the Google Pixel 4a 5G with the Motorola One 5G Ace. Let's take a look. I'm comparing both of these phones because they both offer 5G at a very reasonable and exceptional price. More so, the Google Pixel 4a 5G comes in at a price tag of around $500, and the Motorola One 5G Ace could be had for less than $400 unlocked and no contract, or you can get it on Metro from T-Mobile. That's a prepaid brand here in the US for $30. So you could have a $500 Pixel device with 5G versus a Motorola 5G device for $30. So let's go ahead and see what we could find out about these devices and which one should you get, which one is better. For the overall size, the Pixel phone comes in at a height of 6.1 inches, 2.9 inches wide, 0.3 inches thick, while the Motorola One 5G Ace comes in at a little bit bigger size. It's 6.5 inches tall, 3 inches wide, and 0.39 inches thick. So overall, the Pixel 4a 5G is the more slimmer device. The Pixel 4a 5G is also the more lightweight device, coming in at 5.9 ounces, so below the 6 ounce mark. Very lightweight compared to the Motorola. It comes in at 7.4 ounces, so we got almost half a pound of phone on the Motorola. As for build quality, these are very similar. They got plastic all the way around with the plastic back, plastic frame. Nothing premium feeling, there's no glass or anything like that, but that's okay. At these lower price points, these aren't supposed to stand out as premium build devices, especially if you're gonna put a case on any of these. One difference between these devices is that the Pixel 4a 5G has that bonus eSIM, so that means you could pop a SIM card in and also have room for another data service. You can have 2 different phone numbers. This is good for traveling. You pop services in and out. Very functional, and it's very portable. The One 5G Ace does not have that. Now for the screen, the Pixel has a 6.2 inch display versus the 6.7 inch display on the Motorola. So the way bigger device is the Motorola One 5G Ace. It's almost pushing 7 inches here, so you're getting a real big display. But if you like slimmer devices, the 6.2 inch display is quite good because it's not so massive. So it depends on your preference. Now, both of these are similar too in the resolution. They're both 1080p displays. When you break it down, the OLED display resolution on the Pixel is 413 ppi, which is pretty good. Anything north of 400, you should be very happy with. But the Motorola One 5G also has a pretty good resolution of 1080p, which the PPI comes out to 393, so not too far behind from the Pixel and screen quality. When it comes to the software, the Pixel 4a wins hands down. It comes with Android 11, while the Motorola comes in with Android 10. Now, they both feel very similar because they're a stock version of Android, especially the Google Pixel 4a. The Motorola One has a very bare bones stock Android feel to it, but it does have some Motorola gestures like chop for the flashlight and twist for the back camera. But in the long run, you're not going to get any type of updates really on the Motorola, as the Pixel 4a is going to get several years of updates, and they're going to be real quick because they come directly from Google. So that's something you should think about. For the chipset running these phones, you get a Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G in the Pixel, which is very good. And the Motorola has a Snapdragon Qualcomm 750G processor. A little bit of a step down, but it's going to be just as snappy as the Pixel 4a 5G processor. Honestly, you're not going to see much difference in speed and in performance. It should run all the apps no problem, all your day-to-day apps, YouTube, Spotify, messaging, mail, maps, all that good stuff. There shouldn't be any real noticeable differences. Now, when it comes to internal storage, both of these phones are running with 128 gigs of onboard storage, so that's very good. A mid-range and a budget price device both have 128 gigs. That's very good to hear. Little bonus though, on the Motorola, you get a micro SD card slot, so you could infinitely raise that storage with not a lot of pain points. You could add a micro SD card slot for like $10 starting out, and you can add a lot more storage and with no problem. The Pixel 4a does not have expandable storage, so you're stuck with 128 gigs. But with that amount of storage, I think most people should be fine with that amount. Now for the cameras, the Pixel 4a 5G has a 12 megapixel shooter with the main setup and 16 megapixel ultra wide on the back. Motorola One 5G has a triple camera setup, 48 megapixel main, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro. So these are very similar setups. You got that extra camera on the Motorola, but Pixel phones have always been known to have high quality, and this is no exception. You'll take excellent pictures and videos with those two cameras on the back. Now the Motorola One 5G Ace is not going to have as good of a camera. Motorola has been known by widely known to not have the best cameras on their phones, and this is no exception. You won't be disappointed, but you won't be impressed either. If you're in a bright setting, or if you're outside and take a quick shot, you shouldn't be disappointed. It's not flagship quality by any means. When it comes to video, both of these phones offer 4K, so that's pretty good in the mid and low range price. For the selfie camera, the Pixel 4a 5G has an 8 megapixel shooter, Motorola with a 16 megapixel shooter, and both of them have a video resolution at 1080p, so the selfie cameras are okay. As for the RAM on these devices, they both have 6 gigs of RAM each one, and that's the pretty good amount of RAM. You should not, it's by no means is this a big amount of RAM, but for these type of devices and what people are going to be using these phones for, that's perfectly acceptable. You shouldn't run into any problems with 6 gigs of RAM. You could have several apps in the background and there shouldn't be closing or anything like that. Both of these have the bonus of having a headphone jack, which is awesome. Flagship phones are missing that feature now, so you're only finding that on lower end price phones. And both of these have it, so you can connect your headphones, your mic, hook it up to your car via aux cord so you can listen to music. A very nice option still. If you're really into wireless devices, both of these phones will have your back. You got Bluetooth 5.0 on the Pixel, and you got 5.1 on the 5G Ace. It could connect your wearables such as your smartwatch, your smart band, your wireless headphones, your speakers, all that good stuff. Both of these phones will work just great. Both of these phones are rocking NFC, so that means that you could use this for mostly payment systems like Google Pay and stuff like that. You also got that USB Type-C for the charging port, very typical, normal port. It's the same port used on lots of other non-Android phones such as laptops and tablets. As for security and unlocking, both of these have a rear-mounted fingerprint reader, very reliable old school way of unlocking your phone. I have no problems with that, especially at these price points. There's a big difference in battery though. The Pixel 4a 5G has a minuscule 3,885 milliamp battery, so a sub 4,000 milliamp battery. While on the other hand, the One 5G Ace has a 5,000 milliamp battery, which is awesome. That's where I like to see 5G phones at, 5,000 milliamps. It'll get you all day battery life, no problem. I'm a little bit worried on the Pixel 4a 5G because that's a very small battery considering it has 5G, and if you use that a lot, it's gonna burn through battery, so I'm pretty sure that's not gonna last you all day. Luckily, both of these phones offer fast charging. You got 18 watts on the Pixel, 15 watts on the 5G Ace. So the advantage goes to the Motorola on this one just because battery life is such important. It just matters so much. It's just of such importance having it, especially on a 5G phone. So in conclusion, what do I think of both of these devices? How can I put either of these phones as better than one another? These are very similar. I'll start off with they have the both amount of storage. They have the same amount of RAM. The processors are a little bit different, but not noticeably. That doesn't matter that much. You'll get the same performance pretty much. The problem where it lies is that one of these phones is $500 and the other one could be found for as low as $30. And I think that's the main thing that stands out. If you do like the camera and you take a lot of pictures, photography, videos, the Pixel 4a should be your only choice. I wouldn't even recommend the Motorola at all when it comes to videos and pictures. It could take okay camera, it has okay camera, but The thing that sets the Motorola One apart is that it's going to have the big battery, the $30 price point, and it has a close to stock Android feeling on the Pixel 4a 5G. Although it's not going to get any updates. If you're looking for updates, the Pixel 4a has your back for like a couple of years, but you're paying a little bit of a premium for it at $500 compared to this $30 Motorola. I think for most people, I think you should pick up the Motorola One 5G Ace because battery life will probably be really important to you. But if you like videos and nice updates, fast updates, the Pixel will be for you. But the value has to go with the Motorola. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.